see you all back here once again, ready to learn, ready to challenge assumptions, ready to challenge the author's opinions, and hopefully learn something new in the process. So far, we have read chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the book Power. And I know a lot of us have learned a new thing. We understand that in business, in life, work, and in every sphere of life, power plays a major role. Influence, influences outcomes, if I can use that phrase. Yes, so it's time for us to really sit down and begin to think deeply and reflect on how we interact in our places of work, in business, in everything we do. And it will really influence our outcomes. We've learned that we need to develop skills which will help us gain power and be able to influence outcomes in everything we do. So, business readers, you're welcome once again. Before I begin, I'll have to talk about a co-founder, a founding member who has been away for so long. Some of us may not have met him like we did on the first day. Even the newer members will think he's a new member. But I would like to specially introduce the co-founder of the Business Readers Global Book Club, our very own Dr. Sam Obafemi. Dr. Sam Obafemi is the head of Circa Africa. He's a renowned author, business coach, strategist, leadership, developmental leader, and so many things. And today, he has left his very busy schedule to join us for this book review. You're welcome, Dr. Sam. Thank you so much for being a part of this today.
Thank you, boss.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Sam. Such a pleasure to have you here. He always has very deep and interesting insights to share with us, and I'm really looking forward to his review today. So, business readers, once again, like with every good book, you don't have to agree with everything the author says. You're free to bring your different opinions. You're free to debate. You're free to disagree. But let's make sure we all learn something today. Take home and go back, reflect, and see how we can live lives as better leaders, better business owners, better workers, be better at everything. So I'll call on our first reviewer today, our very own coach, Dr. Sam Obafemi. Please, the floor is yours, Dr. Sam. Please take over. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for introducing me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Business Readers Global. It's been a while, and frankly, thank you for understanding with me. I'm happy to be here tonight. Happy to see my very sassy co-founder looking very on point, Happy to see Nenlap, of course, my boss, a very thorough one. Good to see David, who has always been very supportive and utility as he has always pulled his weight. I'm happy to see Engineer Ken on the call. Big boss. I know I should have, if I had attended the last hangout, it would have been an interesting meetup again. But pardon my absence. Then I can see Maro. Thank you for your message. I can see Hafsa. Good to see you. I thought yes, Dr. Morayo, good to have you on the call too. Thank you for everything. And to everyone else, it's a beautiful evening. When I was reading chapter 5 of this book earlier today in the office, I was like, honestly, I don't know how. I was supposed to do this review on Monday, and I'm so happy it turned out that I'm doing the review today. Because when I was reading chapter 5, I was like, this chapter is talking about me. I saw a lot about myself in chapter 5. I was like, So there are actually established protocols that look like what one just, I would almost say, stumbled into. Because sometimes I appreciate what God has helped me to do in terms of influence, in terms of power. And honestly, that this chapter 5 mirrored a lot back to me. I was able to see context, put words to my behavior in some cases. And I'm very happy that now I can further amplify how I do what I do so that I can gain more leverage. I want to start my review before I bring up my slides. I want to start my review by inviting us to watch Barack Obama's short speech when he was opening his presidential center last week, the Obama Presidential Center. And when this chapter talks about creating something out of nothing, that's Obama Presidential Center is a quintessential example of how to create resources. It's a very major story. He was talking about how he left New York and landed at Chicago with only his box. And the very spot he landed in Chicago is the very spot where the presidential center is currently built, and how he knew no one. He was just a single young boy, 23 years old, a lawyer, constitutional lawyer. He just came to town. He needed to be able to help people. And he went into community mobilizing. And one day at a time, he was building relationships out of nowhere. And then he met his wife, of course, his girlfriend then. And before he knew it, he joined the race for Senate. And then before he knew it, he gave the conventional speech at the Democratic Convention, and then he became a spotlight, and then, or as they say, the rest is history. When I was reading this chapter 5, the first thing that crossed my mind was Obama's journey. And it's such a big motivation, this book, in the sense that there is a formula to success in life. And the formula is, if you ask me, being careful enough to tell yourself you will serve. And that is where creating resources start from. Creating resources means that I don't need to create anything in advance. If I just open my mind to serve, the resources to serve will open up to me. Then I can create something out of it. 2 weeks ago, I was having a coaching session in my office. One guy is going to Paris. He's an oil and gas business owner, business guy. He's a chief operating officer. He's going to be speaking at a conference in Paris. And he was fidgeting how he was going to present his speech and how he was afraid of standing in the room and all that. And I asked him, I said, you told me you spent 22 years plus in oil and gas. He said, yes. I said, so it means that if I wake you up now to tell me anything in oil and gas, you know it. He said, yes. I said, so you know what? The solution and the speech is in the room. Just go to the room and just elicit for them to ask them questions. Just try to gist, and the gist itself will lead to the gist, and the gist will lead to talk, and then you have presented your case. All I'm saying is that creating resources is a very powerful statement that can be underrated. Creating resources. And for me, from my experience and work through life so far in this very young time, I can say that creating resources means that I don't need to preempt the journey. I can leverage the people that I want to help to be able to create the value and create something out of nothing. And those are some key things that stood out for me in the book and in that chapter 5. So let me quickly show up my slides and speak directly from a very short note that I put together. So my topic is making something out of nothing, creating resources. I don't know how we came about choosing this book, Princess, but this book is a big inspiration for me, true. Today is the first day I'm opening this book, and I went straight to my chapter 5 that I've been asked to read, but this book did a thing to me in that very short time that I reviewed it, because I think almost everyone that has built anything can connect with this book. You literally determine all the outcomes. The power is in your hand. And, imagine being able to face and confront anyone or any situations just because subconsciously you know that I can utilize whatever comes my way. In neuro-linguistics programming, there's what we call utilization. And utilization speaks about my ability to know that everything adds up to a big picture. Everything, whatever I'm doing or seeing or getting or having or experiencing, is adding up to the big picture. I just need to have my mind open to use it. Use your errors, use your mistakes, use your flair, use your style. Everything is usable. And that's how to create something out of nothing and creating resources. So I took my time to now sum up. I call it 10 CEO lessons from chapter 5, building power through resource creation. So I'm going to bolt through 10 specific things I took away from chapter 5, and hopefully I can do that in a very concise time. The first thing I picked is that there is always a need. There's always a need. You just have to ask yourself that, how do I make sure I'm positioning myself to feel a need? That's the first thing. There's always something someone needs. I mean, if you've been following me recently, I just started what I call the Gen Z Billionaire Investors Club. And I can tell you for a fact, it came out of just a tweet. I was on Twitter. I saw a tweet by someone saying the Nigerian Stock Exchange is going to mint Gen Z billionaires. That idea it was like a light bulb. I was like, that's true. Then I just picked it, went to ChatGPT, created a logo and announced it. And I'm telling you, as of today, I have 35 Gen Zs already in the group. And just in the last 1 week, the 35 Gen Zs have been reading a book written by my community manager, and parents are calling me. Today, almost 4 mothers have called me. One is in London, one is in Canada, 2 are in Abuja, 2 fathers have paid for their kids. Like suddenly, it looked like something that did not exist, and then boom, suddenly everybody's interested. And I'm wondering, wow, there's always somebody that has a need. Creating something out of nothing and creating resources is that first you have to ask yourself, what is that need that I can identify? And there it says power comes from controlling resources that others need. Once you have the knowledge, the skill, the idea, the opportunity, the connect, the leverage, somebody will need it. It's your ability to now determine how that can be accessed, and then you hold the power. It's very key. One of the big things that BRG has established is that in this community, we hold the ace when it comes to knowledge, we hold the ace when it comes to training resources, we hold the ace when it comes to power relationships. And that is a major thing that many people are looking for in terms of access. Number two way that we can create something out of nothing is that we must understand resources become powerful only when shared strategically. And that is why I am totally an evangelist of communities. I believe that we must have a vehicle, a system where people can have access to some gated or some strategic cohorts instead of just throwing your pearls to the wines, or how do they say, to the swine. You must use resources to help others succeed, but you must also make sure you create power when you build loyalty and alliances. So building a system where people can connect to value in a strategic way is how to, demonstrate creating resources. We must, and you see, that's why I appreciate what we have done with BRG. We have created an annual subscription system. We have gone on to get accreditation with CMD, and that way our membership becomes very competitive. That is actually what we have done with item number 2. It means that you cannot come to BRG and just be a ghost member. You have to find a way to connect. And in being a member of BRG, you will be impacted to the point where even you begin to add value to other people. So that's a very important strategy. Number 3 is power and resources compound. I was advising a client who was trying to put together, she set up a certification program, and she brought about 7 of us on the faculty. And she was trying to write a pitch and said the cumulative number of years of the people on the faculty is 100 years. I told her that's not correct. I told her that me alone, I have 22 years of experience, and I have a community of people that cumulatively is more than 1,000 years of experience. If I'm going to start counting the years of experience in OSP alone and BRG, that one alone don't pass 1,000 years experience. So I told her, if you have 7 faculty members who control their own individual communities, we're talking about maybe over 10,000 years cumulative experience. And that is what we need to understand. That's the power of compounding. The power of compounding is that people build power and create resources by just leveraging opportunities and stronger networks. And that's very, very key. Everybody is a significant player as far as networks are concerned. And we need to understand that. That's one key thing, a great way to, create value and create resources. Number 4 is choose roles with resource control. I think that, for example, in BRG, I like how Princess has strategically distributed responsibilities and roles. You know, how we, in fact, if every time I remember last year when we stepped down and Mr. Toyin, my brother Toyin assumed presidency and then NLAP handling trainings and, it's such a powerful thing because what that does is that someone that is seemingly either um, timid or shy or having voices in their head of maybe self-esteem challenges, or they just become more confident and bold. I remember my sweetheart, Bolu Atife. I've seen her journey from when she was way younger, and every time when she writes in BRG or when she speaks, I am like, "Ah, Bolu, this is Bolu." You get, so that's an example, having to choose roles with resource control so that way you're able to get people to take authority and share their responsibilities. It gives them a sense of power and they can reciprocate. Hafsa, if you can mute your end, that would be nice. Then the next thing is never confuse personal importance with positional power. And this speaks to one of the models of leadership. When they'll say there are 5 levels of leadership, there's positional, there's personal, there is I can't remember those other P's. There are 5 P's of leadership. And this is where one of the ways to create resources is that you must be a representative of your essence. There is just who you are wired to be. And that in itself is your personal power. And so if people can understand that I am who I am, and that alone is a complete statement. And I was telling, last week we finished our emotional intelligence and anger management certification. And on Sunday, when I was wrapping up the class, I said, there is no place on social media anywhere you will see my title. You won't see it anywhere. You won't see it on LinkedIn. You won't see it anywhere. You won't see me write doctor, MBA, all that. It's not because it is out of place. It's because over time, I have been able to come to terms with the fact that I would rather you meet me as I am. Don't meet the title. Don't meet the MBA guy. Don't meet. If I just today, my staff sent a proposal to one of our clients that we've been prospecting, and they were writing DBA, and I told them remove it. Just write Sam Obafemi, founder Sec Africa. It's okay, and it's somehow it's a preferred option for me because I'll rather you meet me in my authentic state than have a pre-assumption because you've seen a Dr. Sam or an MBA or a certified in this and certified in that. I remember that I shared my profile with a client in South Africa, and she was like, your profile is so low, it's so heavy, but you don't talk about it. And I said, that's exactly how I want it. Like, I want you to encounter the credentials after you have encountered the person. And that's where here it says, never confuse personal importance with positional power. We must build capacity to not let ourselves get obsessed with the positions we occupy and the roles we play, because in a sense, they are temporary roles and positions. The more authentic side is who you really are. And that's where the place of power comes in. Number 6, I took away is start building power before you have authority. This is a very crazy one because this afternoon I was telling Mrs. O, I said, money they show person sha. There's a way that you enter a place of authority and it just reveals who you really are. Like, I remember some years ago, I used to tell Stella, I said, you don't know a person until they have some money. You cannot benchmark a person because when I don't want to use the word poor, but the thing is that somebody that doesn't have agency has a lot of things to make them humble and unassuming until they have agency. And agency can be money, can be position, can be authority, can be access. And then you just see a side of them that you never thought, you never imagined was there. So don't wait for seniority. Influence is accumulated long before promotion occurs, and we need to stay grounded when we get it. The next item, number 7, says attention is a powerful resource. It is one subsection in the book. It says create attention. If I could go back to that chapter, I like the way it put it there. Every single
sharing your screen.
Yes, you're not seeing my screen.
Okay.
Yes,
Let me
he is. He was.
Let me
You
reshare.
can
Can you
still
see it
see.
again now?
I was seeing it before.
Okay.
Yes, we were
were
seeing it.
We seen it
Okay.
before.
Yeah, it's fine
Excellent.
now.
Great. So every single time, I don't think there is any factor on earth that is more powerful than attention if you want to be powerful. I don't think there is. Dale Carnegie in his book, How to Make Friends and Win People or something, said people like to hear their names. There's just something about giving somebody attention, which is one great thing people like Obama has, which is one very great thing big influential people have. That sense of I see you, I hear you, and focusing on you is such a priceless, powerful element that we have to build capacity for. The ability to be present with a person when you're having a conversation with the person, even in the midst of the crowd, is such a very powerful thing. And it goes a long way because you're able to listen to them. You're able to watch their body language and respond based on their energies. And they're able to appreciate that you actually took time to see them for who they really are. And it's very key. One way to also create attention is to be as supportive as possible in the littlest way that you can, which is one very big area I'm building much more capacity for, to be able to help as many people's voices get heard and as many people's ideas get seen, because the reciprocity is heavy. I see how much people appreciate just a little amplification of that idea that they're even afraid of putting out. It is a big thing. And so for me, if you ask me, among the 10 things that I learned from this chapter, number 7 stood out for me significantly. People support people who make them feel valued. So if there's anyone I want you to remember permanently from my session, it has to be number 7. Attention is a powerful resource. Listen, show interest, attend important events, and support people. People support people who make them feel valued. Number 8, as I round up, small opportunities often lead to big power. And sometimes, like they say, you don't get a chance to make a second impression. Sometimes your first impression is all you probably would have. And even if you get a chance to make a second impression, it may be a tall order to reverse the impression you made in the first place if it was not as strong as you wanted. So we need to take advantage and ownership for every little opportunity that comes our way. And we have to see it as this is my stamp. Every time there's an opportunity that has come your way, it is actually an opportunity to know that this is what I will be remembered for. So you need to give it your best shot every single time. Number 9, become a creator of connections. This is also very powerful. One thing that I believe every member of BRG represents is that we don't hoard opportunities and support for our members, because that's our power. It's a very powerful thing that you can say, oh, I know someone that can help you fix that. Oh, I know somebody that can buy that. Oh, I know somebody that can help with this. Oh, I know somebody that can help you solve that problem. It's a natural state of power. Are you a hub or are you a terminal point? A hub is someone that facilitates things for people. You help people to get things done. A terminal point is that once it gets to your point, it ends there. There's no way forward. So it's something that I'm hoping members of BRG can embrace. Let's try and amplify each other's voices and each other's work and bring as much connections as possible. And then the last one from here is create resources, don't just acquire them. It's good for you to constantly reinvent stuff. I am hoping that one of the things that this book talks about is, like I started with the first point, there's always a need. So you could as well be someone that is creating solutions for the needs that exist around you. And you're not just collecting. Don't be a collector of solutions. Also be a creator of solutions. Also be a giver of solutions. Also be someone that tries to share solutions. So to end my session or my review, the CEO formula, according to chapter 5, says, be someone that creates value, be someone that helps people, build capacity to build networks, make sure you control access, because not everybody understands what access is. And that's also where you learn to be powerful, know when to serve and withdraw, know when to promote, present, and close the doors. And then, of course, by that, you become indispensable, because once you become indispensable, which means you know when to make things happen and you know when to make things scarce, we say that power will follow that. So these were the top 10 lessons I drew from chapter 5. And I want to say thank you for, selecting me for that chapter, because it was a feedback mechanism for me. It spoke to me personally, and I'm very happy about that. Thank you very much. Over to you, Naila.
Wow, it's over already. Dr. Sam, I'm sure business readers, I'm sure you all agree with me. This was far more than a book review. This was a masterclass once again. So business readers, please let's give Coach Sam his flowers. Thank you so much. Thank you, Coach Sam.
Thank you,
for me personally, I would say yes. One thing I really appreciate about Coach Sam's reviews is that he's able to bring the book to life, using practical examples, life lessons from his own journey. So he's not talking from an abstract viewpoint. It's something that he understands, he has experienced, and he comes to share with us. So thank you so much. I mean, most of the time you think you understand what the author is saying, and then Coach Sam comes up with different layers, 3, 4, 5 layers to what the author is saying. You are like, is this really, is this the book we're reading? So, Coach Sam, you've done it once again. Thank you. I
Thank
think
you so much.
Yes, for me, I would say another lesson I'll learn from this is, it's not, books are not just merely to be read. It's just not about reading the books. Understand what you're reading, apply it, and live it. And I think that's what Coach Sam is teaching us to do. I mean, it was just a one-pager. He just came up with, what did you call that? A framework.
Yes,
framework. And then it explained everything. It was simple, concise, relatable. Just, yes, I think I've learned so much, and I'm sure we all have. Thank you so much, Dr. Sam. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Business readers, please give him more of the flowers, please. That was, like I said, a masterclass. We don't get to hear this all the time. Yeah, so please, the floor is open. Princess, I don't know, is the next reviewer here, or we should go ahead with the comments?
It's Afsat, but before Afsat, I just want to say something. Look, I had goosebumps when Dr. Sam was speaking. Wow, what a master class, what a refresher class. And anyway, that's why you're co-founder. Because like my people will use one adage, if you get sense like that, maybe you try it. And this is why you're boss. I mean, Very lovely presentation. For me, it's not just the presentation, it's the steez. You know, let me talk like the Gen Z. It's the steez with which you present. The calmness, the peace around you, and I think that something has also changed about Dr. Sam, because sometimes we need to let people see how much they've evolved too. I don't know. Nella, did you see that? I don't know if the boardroom members see it, but I think Dr. Sam has also evolved. Now, Dr. Sam is my mentor and trainer, and we've come a long way. So looking back 4 years, I'm just looking back, and I'm like, you're not the same person. I don't know if you know that you're not the same person. It's the steez for me, the calmness with which you deliver, the context, the experience, the exposition even to the writer, and then the relatability of the story. You started with the Obama Presidential Center. I've watched that particular video over and over, almost 5 times running. I play it on review, and it's just the lessons. And I think that particular story reflects what we call influence, because when you look back at Obama's trajectory, you see how he's been able to use power to get to this point, even after leaving that presidential seat. And I think it speaks true to what we can do, with just nothing. So there couldn't have been any better way to start this particular presentation. Bringing that reference, using the one pager, just amazing. Like I said, goosebumps all over. And I think this chapter would resonate with all of us who have really worked hard over the years to build structure, because I think it's very relatable. We're building from scratch. We're building from nothing. We're building from a system where you are uncertain of, the next day, where there's no government infrastructure. You're building from volatility. So we all know what that means, to really work hard to get to where we are. So yeah, I'm excited for the second speaker too. But Dr. Sam, received your flower. My God, I'm going to reflect on this later on. I was listening to the voice off camera. I kept, putting off my video to just listen. And even your voice, mastery. That's
Thank you, Princess. Thank you, Princess. Yes. Thank you, Princess.
Thank you.
Over to you, Nella. Over to you.
Yes. I'm sorry. People gave me the microphone, so I have to speak. I'm sorry. Is this readers? Yeah, I think I agree with Princess. Something has changed about Dr. Sam, and I think it comes, for me, there's one of the points he made: be yourself. I think Sam has grown into himself. This is him. This is how he presents. He keeps it simple, uses his life's experiences, and he's very comfortable with that. And I see it. It's just you. So, and that's it. It is what it is. Yeah, I think that's you've grown into yourself. You're becoming yourself.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. Yeah.
I appreciate that. And like Presido said, he said it's the Mrs. O effects.
Okay, I wish Mrs. O was here so she'll get her flowers as well. I'll invite her personally next time. I hope you'll be here too. Oh, she's somewhere there, right? Mrs. O? Please, Mrs. O, your flowers. I'm sure your husband will hand them over to you. Is she there, please?
Mrs. O,
she will come around. Let's see. She's also, yes, I know she's a grief coach as well. And she holds programs from time to time. I think, a lot of us will be able to, join in afterwards to find out more details. So,
thank you so much.
Thank you once again, Dr. Sam. Thank you. Okay, so our next presenter will be our very own Hafsa. And I have something to say about Hafsa as well. I know she has been a student of Dr. Sam's, and honestly, Hafsa has grown. I mean, one of the points Dr. Sam made, he said, be ready to contribute, and in fact, Hafsa has been one of our best contributors. She also brings in her life's experiences into every book. So the lessons we learn, not just from the pages of the book, but Hafsat is also able to bring lessons from her life experiences. And she's here with her coach, her mentor. So I know she's going to deliver and do a good job. So Hafsat,
just to add, Hafsat is one person that would come back to you to say, my name is not on the reviewers list. Even when she has been reviewing back to back. So we try to select and make sure that everybody has, a slot to be able to speak.
Princess.
I will have to be, I will have them. No, I mean, I'm saying it in a very good way, because this platform is a platform where we encourage everybody to self-pace their own development, right? So people don't understand that you're working the work. You have to work the work. After insists that she must work the work every time we are reviewing a book. And that for me is something to learn. So, well, over to you, Afsat.
Thank you so much, business
and
readers. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, and you have 15 minutes to do your review.
Okay. Let me just proceed. So, can you hear me? Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Hafsat, go ahead. Yeah, we hear you. We see your slides. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So, good evening once again. I'm making a presentation on chapter 6 of Power. And chapter 6 is titled Building Efficient and Effective Social Networks. So generally what chapter 6 is talking about is more of what talent, skills, and the opportunities around you, what you're leveraging on. How well are you utilizing your skills, your talents, and the opportunities around you? That's what chapter 6 emphasizes more on. Now, it began with understanding power in networks. That's what chapter 6 emphasizing on, which states that power depends on where you sit in organizational communication networks. How well you communicate with your team leads, team members, and are you well informed in terms of organizational activities? I equally want to use myself as an example. The last office I worked with, I remember that time, my boss, he always comes to one particular lawyer in my office. Anything he needs, he goes to her. So, and she tells me that even at night, he communicates with her. There are things that she don't know. She refer it back to me. I will now be like, why is it always her? So I realized there is a particular skill she displays in the office that I don't do that. I was more of a person that back then, I don't really like coming forward to show that I know this. Let me handle it. Even though they come, except if we are discussing as team members. But when he comes to the office, we're having our usual weekly appraisal meetings. She always talks. She comes up with solutions. She will ask me, what do I think? I will proceed and give her a response. So I now realize she had that inner power in her to communicate among everyone, among each and every one of us. And I was lacking that. So equally, even me, I will say that this chapter talks about me a lot. I have seen a lot of loopholes that I was lacking behind, and I am really working on improving that. Now, there are key lessons that we will gain from this chapter. Now, the number one lesson is that information is a source of power. What you don't know, you can never leverage on it. You can never utilize it. You can even be lacking behind. Now, let me share a live experience. There's a matter I'm handling. It's a DSS matter. My first day that I went to DSS, I met a lawyer like myself. So we asked her a question, myself and my colleague. We asked her, what is the most challenging experience you have in working under with DSS? She told me that, or rather, she told us that what is so challenging is that even the security, like the lowest staff in the office, should not be disrespected, because he may even know that you are leaving the office today and you will not know. You can be relating with your good, your go to your easy person you can go to, you communicate with that person, and you will not know that something is cooking behind you. It could be that you are being taken outside the workforce. Mean you are taken to a different jurisdiction. You will not know. So what she told us back then was, everyone in that organization has to be respected. See everyone as equal. Give them the core respect they need, which is a good lesson. Now, number 2 lesson is network position trumps formal rank. You see, in an organization where you sit in, the web of communication relationship matters most. Are you the one? Are you in a setting whereby you like, for instance, now let me use my corporate practice for example. As a corporate secretary, you communicate with your clients as well as regulatory agencies. You are now the intermediary. You have the power of telling your clients what to do. They cannot go against what you give them instruction on. And they will even tell you, what do you think, barrister? What do you think, my lawyer? How do I go about this? Now, you will now tell them, this is what the law provides. This is what our karma states, that you have to follow this approach. I remember there's a contract I reviewed of recent, and it involves foreign participation. I now told my client that if you have to involve these people, they must register their company in Nigeria, or they get an exemption letter. Why? Because it's a law, it's a regulatory approach that they have to fulfill. Most of them are lawyers and they don't know that. So in that particular setting, and this is the power of you being in a position whereby you can leverage your power. Anything they want, anything your organization wants, they come to you directly. Just like our coach stated earlier, there should be this chain of communication. If they can have solution to the problem, you should not be, you should be the only source that can solve that problem, if I'm correct. Also, now, the number 3 lesson is boundary spanners gain influence. This is another good lesson. In fact, let me go ahead and quote Mr. Jeffrey's this thing. He said, those who become, sorry, he said, those who breach structural, sorry, he said, just a moment, please. He said, those who breach structural holes have more power because they can broker information and opportunities. Now, let me give an example. If, for instance, your organization needs something from an organization that they are not in good terms with, you should give yourself, you should have that power of, they can approach you to send that communication to them, and they also are ready to help or provide that solution you need from them. So that's what this key lesson is talking about. Boundary spanners connect separate groups, facilitating communication, resolving conflicts, transferring knowledge, and controlling information flow across organizational boundaries. Another lesson is the central connector. Central connector is someone that it still goes with the former lesson. Like, you should position yourself as, if anyone needs anything, maybe they need a resource person in terms of training or whatever need your organization wants at that moment, you should be able to give a proficient and efficient solution to that want your organization needs at the moment. You should equip yourself with information, resources, tools that you can reach out to and they can deliver. Build that trust your organization wants from you is also another power. Now, the go-to employee, just like I started, that particular staff of ours, my colleague in my former office, she was an easy go person. You can approach her on anything. She gives you access. She shares her experience with you and whatever information she has. And then there was trust. There was trust. Always create trust. Do not maintain relationship based on what you will earn. And even my boss, he told us one time that anywhere you find yourself, always build beneficial and sustainable relationships. It's very, very important. That's another good power, another good skill I gained from him. Now, I want to take us a little bit, let me give us a little bit of the case study from Heidi Rosen. She was able to achieve greater visibility and access to senior management roles, better knowledge of organizational priorities, increased influence and power despite technical expertise of others. She was able to, she was recognized as an indispensable employee in anywhere she finds herself. Guess what? She was a CEO of the spreadsheet software. She handled managerial role in engineering organizations. Even she was part of the founders in one venture capitalist organization. And the amazing part of it from the author's write-up was that her bachelor's degree was on creative writing and her master's was on business. Most of the organizations she worked with are all technology tech organizations. But what helped her was the right position she fixed herself. She was able to span communications across all team members. Power of networks. Power comes from who knows you, who depends on you, according to Mr. Jeffrey, the author, and your position in the networks. Connectors often wield more influence than pure technical experts because controlling communication shapes decisions, opportunities, and outcomes. In conclusion, what the author is trying to emphasize on is that anywhere you find yourself, be intentional that you want to go, you want to access these people, you want to solve their solution, have the organization at heart and build good communication, build sustainable communication. So practical application from chapter 6. I learned that build cross-department relationship, join committees, just like Princess Stephen. I know that I used to disturb her a lot anytime, because sometimes I will just see the schedule of presenters and my name will not be part of it. I am intentional for my personal development. That is why I want to participate on each and every activities going on under the BRG platform. It's a goal I have given myself and a challenge that I want to improve myself personally. And that was why I'm always disturbing Princess. My name is not on the schedule. My name is not on the schedule. So in essence, we have to be intentional. Whatever you want, trust yourself, believe in yourself. And I assure you that you will be surprised. Everyone is looking out for you. Please, how can I solve this problem? What do you think? Can I approach him on this? Strength of the chapter. For why this chapter stands out for me is that it explains why competent people remain unnoticed, which is very good. This one Zumi is talking about. There at that time, back then, where I worked, my former friend, most of the corporate challenges our office faces, I was the one solving them. But when it comes to if we are making our presentation, okay, this is what we have done, I am always not the one speaking. It's my team members, or they will appoint a lead. But I participated. I know I participated, and my participation was more than others. But I was not noticed, and it was really disturbing me. I will ask myself, where am I getting it wrong? Is it that I'm not confident in myself, or if they ask question, I will just be mute? But now, once they ask question, I am able to address it. I will explain myself, tell them this is what I have done, this is what needs to be done, and this is how we can go about it. Another strength of this chapter is that it offers a realistic view of organizational influence, emphasizes strategic networking value. Wherever you find yourself in an organization, whether you are a founder or you work with that organization, be strategic, just like Coach Sam stated. Be creative. Don't just see a problem that you want to solve. You too create a solution to a given problem. It's very important. That way, the organization will recognize your value. They will know that you have a certain power that others don't have. And that way, you are creating strategic visibility for yourself. In the course of my own research, I observed there was some weaknesses. So even though, just like NemLab, our host stated,
Sorry,
in the
Hafsat,
when
Hafsat, may I come? You have 2 minutes to round up.
Okay. The chapter, yes, is good for us to gain visibility, utilize the network you are using. But there are instances whereby it overemphasizes on networking, which may overshadow some technical competencies, which is good. Sometimes there are people that they don't know the main approach, but because they have that skill, that knowledge of, meeting someone, connecting people across all departments, so everyone goes to them. Also, it can appear overly political to some readers. I don't know, but I feel organizations generally too, their politics play in. So it all depends on how you see, how you understand the chapter. Then Let's focus on ethical considerations of power. Networking first mindset may not suit all organizational cultures. That's very true. The core values of organizations matters a lot. Some organizations are very strict, while others, they are not. So you have to understand the mission and vision of the organization you are working with. Know their core values. Does it align with yours? So that you will know whether you can fit in, you can be strategic, you can have the power of influence you are looking out for. These are some of the limitations. Well, power belongs to those at the center. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much, Hafsat. Please, please. Thank you, Hafsat. Please, everyone, let's give Hafsat her flowers.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Yes, that was a very beautiful presentation. I'm sure your mentor, Coach Sam, is very proud of you at this point. I must say, I am very proud of you. Really, you did a great job. So thank you so much. I know we took out of your time, just before you started, yes, but then, well, that's what power and influence does, right? Some people have more time. Well, that's it. That's on a lighter note. But thank you so much. You did a great job. Well done. It was beautifully done, beautifully presented. Thank you. So, business readers, the floor is open. Give Hafsat her flowers, and then you can make your contributions and comments and ask questions. Thank you.
Well done, Hafsat. That was beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Oluwatoyin, I've not heard your voice today. I don't know, Coach Sam, do you still have something to say? Please go ahead.
No, I don't think it was.
Yeah. Presido,
Yeah.
I have not heard from you today, which is strange.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Yes, sorry. I have a bit of a cold. Usually the children get the bug home from school, so although they are closing today, or tomorrow, so I'll be free for some months from catching that bug. Okay, it's a quick one. Thank you so much, and good to see everybody. Good to see especially Coach Sam back in the house. Thank you, sir, for coming to give us that very mind-blowing presentation, like everyone else has said. And down to the second speaker, Hafsat, thank you so much for your presentation as well. Very well put. I enjoyed both presentations and the messaging behind it. So I'll just say kudos to everyone, because for our time, I won't want to dwell too much. And yeah, I would just carry on the banner like we're doing in the Business Readers Global. We're ensuring that we get better and better in what we do as individuals. And also our sessions help us to kind of curate these sort of appearances. So thank you very much. I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Let me just leave the floor for other speakers. Thank you, Nenlap.
Thank you so much, Coach Sam. Sorry. Presido, yes.
If you call me a coach, I agree.
Okay, Coach Oluwatoyin. Yes, you are.
No, because doctor was trying to remove his doctor title. So if you give me his coach title, I'll take it.
Okay, so Dr. Coach Oluwatoyin, yes, you can have it. Dr. Morayo, you've been awfully quiet. Engineer Ken.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. That was a powerful presentation by Coach and Lady Hafsat. This book is really unpacking a lot, and we are learning. We can't just not be noticed. You have to bring the visibility. That's what gives you power. And the presentation was apt. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Morayo. Engineer Ken, any contributions?
Good evening. Yeah, good evening, everyone. That was a beautiful one from the coach. Really a coach, a top-notch review, I would say. Lady Hafsat, you did a good job, a good rendition. It was a nice one. I am now realizing that power is taken and not given. So I think that's a good one. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Engineer Ken. Power is taken, not necessarily by butt licking. Power is taken by learning the things we need to learn to gain power. Yes, so I'm reading a comment from the chat box, I think from Ubong. He says, brilliant, Hafsat. Identifying the weaknesses in the chapter was apt, which is something new. It's really something that I don't think has ever been done before. And well, Hafsat, this is the first time we're looking at the weaknesses of the chapter. And just like we said, bring differing opinions. I mean, we don't have to agree with everything the author says. So that was brilliantly done. Thank you, Hafsat. That's another angle which we can all apply, if I may use that word, in a subsequent presentation. So thank you, everyone. Coach Sam, Hafsat, Princess, it's 10 minutes here.
I said it all in the chat box. This is the same as Hafsat that was very shy from, not just speaking on camera, on a virtual screen. She would turn off her camera when she's speaking. Now, Hafsat we're even begging her for time, and she's still smiling like I never finish. In the Nigeria context, what can I free me? I do my work. What can I then present? I mean, Hafsat, what can I say? You brought the strength, the weakness of the chapter, and you echo a lot of questions that may have come out, from that particular chapter, which is very important. And then you tell stories about, your reflections. And I think this is important when we read, like Lady Nenda mentioned, that it's very important to apply what you have learned and first apply it to yourself before you even, speak to others about what you have learned. So brilliant presentation, Hafsat. I'm just amazed watching you blossom, right? I'm just amazed. Even with a smile on your face. That is something else.
All right, thank you very much, Princess. So yes, it's 11 minutes past 7. We actually started late. I think we started at 10 minutes past 7. So we're good with the time. Yes. Coach Sam was very concise and it's easy. I'm sure Coach Sam is going to share this with us, the framework, if possible, on the platform. Yes,
I'll drop it on the platform.
Yes, please. I think it's important. If we can just something, it's easy to work with, easy to remember. So thank you very much.
Thank you, boss.
Yes. Okay. So any other contributions? Okay. So in the absence of any more contributions or comments, I would say we'll call it a day. So good night, everyone.
See you tomorrow. Good night.
See you tomorrow. Hafsat says networking.
Good night, everyone.
Networking political.
Bye.
We'll see. Maybe subsequent chapters will say something different, right? Because she says network. You may not be too competent, too technical, you're networking, and then you mask how competent you are. But then we'll see. We'll see as we read subsequent chapters. So once again,
there's a framework. There's a framework to networking. I hope you know that outside. You don't just go for networking event and call it. There's a framework to networking, and that's why you have to take my etiquette class, huh?
There's an advert there. Strategic visibility, and that's what she just did. Yes. So business readers, let's call it a day. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Good night.
See you all tomorrow. And I hope Coach Sam will grace us with his presence again tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to
that one not be true. That one not be true. Not possible.
It's not guaranteed, but
But Coach Sam, we really do enjoy you every now and then. Every time we get the opportunity to complete.
I'll do my best. No promises. I'll do my best.
Nenlap is trying to use our influence.
I'm trying to hypnosis too may work. I don't know. So I'm looking at him. Okay, then. So thank you everyone for joining in.
Good night, everyone.
Princess, I think we need to stay back. Yeah.
Yes. No, but all right. Okay, we'll stay back.
And Maru.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Peace. Yeah.
Nana, I will have to go off and create another meeting. This is recorded. This is on YouTube.